Hey, it's Ellie. Welcome back to another video, or hello if you are new. Today I am finishing up this lion habitat area. I started this video at the very end. I started this area, I should say, at the very end of the last video. Don't know why I cut it in such a way, but I did, and I've already narrated that episode, so I am not going to awkwardly cut my narration to also cut out and rearrange this episode footage. So you're just gonna have to deal with that first little bit in the previous episode. But here we are. And as I said at the end of last episode, I did have this cool inspiration photo, and I will put it again here because this is the episode where I'm actually mostly building this. And so basically I was trying to make this very natural-ish rock face to the shop and have the lions kind of sitting in it as if they're sculpted into the rock work as well. And I really wish I had more lion sculptures or different pose. I think would have been good for the lions. It's just, I was having a hard time with them sitting in such a proper way. If they had been more relaxed, I think it would have been better. But yeah, I wanted to do this whole cool building mostly because I absolutely hated the way that the habitat barrier looks on the side of the pathway, and it's too close to the pathway to be kind of hidden by trees and stuff. So I was like, I need to build something along this whole path so that nobody can see the ugly wood. And I did eventually actually change the wood barrier so it's something different. It's the same as the Indian elephant barrier, that electric fence with the horizontal metal, wires. I kept thinking of the word beams, and I'm like, no, that's not quite right. But anyway, so that probably would not have looked as bad, and also would have given the guests more view of the lions as they're kind of prancing around. But I like the idea of having the specified view for this area. And also the guests have such a good view of the lion habitat on the balcony for the building that I built last episode. So I don't really think they need more view of the lions. And so I really actually like this building quite a bit, and I do end up putting more exhibits in kind of that curved part to the right of the shop. So yeah, it's got enough going on. It's actually useful to the guests. It looks cool as you walk past it. And again, this whole zoo is meant to be sort of like a resort. So when I think of a resort, a really nice resort, right? It has a lot of spaces that you can just sit down for a moment and kind of be out of the chaos for a sec. You know, it's just I like all these little nook type areas that have good seating, that have good, air conditioning probably in this building, and it's got a little something so that your crazy 7-year-old who doesn't want to sit down while you feed the 2-year-old their snack or whatever, or mom needs to take a break, and so you just you go in this little room and you sit down and your kid has something to do. They can look at the whatever's in here. I think it might be a dung beetle in this little exhibit. And there's also something I did throughout the entire zoo, which I definitely talked about, but I'm really glad that it ended up working, is that I made this little video montage of the animals in my zoo that I actually recorded for myself, and I have that placed on screens throughout the zoo. So even if you have to take a break in an area like this where you can't see anything outside of kind of the building that you're in, you can still have a little look at the animals and kind of pretend that you're there. And, you know, in the case of the wild 7-year-old, you can calm them down by saying, look, just watch this video for a while and look at the animals this way, because we need to take a break. And that, yeah, that's the whole idea. And overall, I think it worked out pretty well. And also, this sign in this rock turned out way better than I thought it was going to be ugly, and it actually was not terrible. I, as you can see, spent a lot of time making the rocks just so to frame this education sign. It looks great. By the way, my zoo has been open for some time as I played with the zoo running and to get all my cinematics and stuff, whatnot. And this zoo, I thought I had plenty of education things because I have so many of them throughout the zoo. Like, how many more could I possibly have? But apparently, my education is not great because the rating for it says that it's not good as my zoo is open. And also, I think it was... I just yawned. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna cut that because I'm busy and I need to get through this recording. The energy level for the guests is also not great, and I have so many benches. I have so many benches in this zoo. Just don't get it. There's so many little areas to stop and, you know, pop off and take a little breather, as I just said. And they're not along every pathway, but there's so many nooks and crannies and picnic benches and stuff, places to sit. I cannot believe that these guests have low energy level. It's just absurd. Especially considering half of them don't even get to the back of my zoo. I think I saw like 3 people in my Asian building exhibit habitat area, and that's it. Like, some of them got to the macaque crane habitat, so I did see some about there, but I don't think that I saw any in the panda exhibit, which is a bummer because it's cool and it's traversable for the guests. And also the polar bear exhibit habitat, not a lot of people went back there. It's kind of a bummer because I was really hoping that if I kept the zoo open long enough, people would eventually just spread out in such a way that they would get back there, but they aren't. And I don't want to play my zoo for too long because all my animals will get old and the ratios will be off, and it'll be a whole hassle I don't want to deal with. So I just kind of had to cut my losses and say, okay, well, some of these areas are going to be empty. I did get a couple shots of the restaurants like I was hoping that actually have guests in them. Not all of them, but some of them ended up having guests. Like, as I just said, the restaurant by the polar bear habitat, no guests. But the Flamingo Bar and Grill that had guests, there I think were some in the Treetop Cafe in the Lemur building. I'm trying to think where else. I don't even remember where else I have restaurants. But yeah, even some of the populated areas, like the Nile monitor habitat, the guests were not really going to the exhibit areas, so I was pretty worried about that. You know what's weird though? And I can't remember if I made this happen or not. People are going into my concert hall and looking at the exhibits there, and that feels strange. I don't know why that's happening, except I have a vague memory, and I don't know if I actually did it or not, but I have a vague memory of putting a Vista Point in the back of the concert hall, so maybe that's why. It could be why. Just can't remember, and I can't even, like, I have this vague memory, but I don't remember where I would have even put such a thing. I just have no clue. But they are using that, so that's pretty neat. I am happy about that overall. So everything came together as well as I kind of imagined that it would, or better, which is what you hope for, right? But with that, that is just about the end of this video. I've basically finished this little side building, so you will see the cinematic for this at the end of the episode. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. I post videos for Planet Zoo every Tuesday and Saturday. I post videos for The Long Dark every Thursday. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye!